Yeah, welcome back to Fourier transformation part 6. In part 5, I have started the application of Fourier transformation and saw the solution of heat equation using Fourier transformation in infinite domain and semi-infinite domain. In semi-infinite domain, we can use Fourier sine or cosine, and I used Fourier sine transformation there. Today we will study the solution of wave and Laplace equation using Fourier transformation. So let's start. Solution of wave equation. If you have a string and it is fixed at 2 points A and B, if you give some initial displacement to this string, then the propagation of this string will look like this. Then this This is called the displacement of the string. Here uxt is representing the displacement of the string, but in the heat equation uxt is representing the temperature. This displacement can be in two forms, longitudinal and transverse. If it is along t-axis, if it is along x-axis, then it is longitudinal. If it is along t-axis, then it is transverse. So this is transverse displacement, but this is your longitudinal. This is transverse, this is your longitudinal displacement. So today we will study the solution of one-dimensional wave equation. One-dimensional wave equation is given as del 2u over del t square equal to c square del 2u by del x square. It is a type of hyperbolic PD I discussed in the previous part, where uxt is the displacement of string. I am giving you a homework. See proof of this wave equation. From where this equation is coming, you can follow Professor Jain and Anger book or B.S. Grewal book. Then you can better understand what is the wave equation. Our objective in this lecture is to see the solution of this wave equation. This wave equation can be solved by many methods. One of them famous is separation of variables, but I am going to study using Fourier transform here. So let's see one example. An infinite string is initially at rest and that the initial displacement, initial means when t equal to 0, is fx. Infinite string, it means length of string will be between minus infinity to plus infinity. One end of the string is at minus infinity and another string end of the string as plus infinity. So this is a infinite string and string is kept at here. This is the string here from minus infinity to plus infinity. Determine the displacement uxt of the string. So if we see the solution, the model is given string, and if you displace this string, you will get a propagation that will be in the form of waves, and its wave equation is given as del 2u by del t square equal to c square del 2u by del x square. And it is given that initial conditions are given that when t equal to 0, initial displacement is fx. I am taking general case. Fx is representing any general function fx. As in the previous lecture, part 5, I have taken general function fx. Then in example 2, I have taken fx equal to v in some interval minus L to plus L. So I am discussing the general cases of heat wave and Laplace equation. For suitable functions, you can solve these equations. And second thing is, initially at rest means there is a no velocity of the string. Del u by del t is representing the propagation of the string. So there is a no propagation. T equal to 0, x comma 0, when t equal to 0, it is 0. What is meaning here? It is look like at time t equal to 0, this is fx. It can be at any end, this is fx only, string at fx. And there is a no further propagation here, t equal to 0. This is representing the velocity of the string at any time. But time t equal to 0, velocity 0 means string is not propagating here. I will suggest to all of you, please read the proofs of wave equation. Now, if we apply the Fourier transformation, because x is between minus infinity to plus infinity, so we can apply the Fourier transformation with respect to variable t, with respect to variable x, sorry, with respect to variable x, because the limit of x is minus infinity to plus infinity. Apply Fourier transform both sides and let Fourier transform of uxt is equal to f of omega t. It is equal to minus infinity to infinity uxt e to the power minus I omega x dx, that is equal to f omega t here, f omega t here. So remember this, I am assuming this notation here. Now apply the Fourier transformation of equation 1. We will get Fourier transform of del 2u by del t square is equal to Fourier transform of c square del 2u by del x square. You are taking Fourier transform with respect to variable x only. So for this I have discussed in part 5 also, the Fourier transform of del u by del t, del 2u by del 2 square will be minus infinity to plus infinity del 2u by del t square e to the power minus isx I omega x dx, I omega x dx. Now we can write it d2 by d2. If you apply the Leibniz rule, it is u of uxt of e to the power minus I omega x dx, and this is nothing else. This is the Fourier transformation of uxt, and it is representing here by notation f omega t. I am using here Leibniz rule, differentiation over integration. So it will be d by dt, because we are differentiating here with respect to t, f omega t. F omega t is the Fourier transformation of uxt equal to c square. It can be written as c square Fourier transformation of del 2u by del x square. For del 2u by del x square, you can use the second derivative result. I told you the Fourier transformation of u double dash x equal to u nth derivative, actually I omega to the power n f omega. So here if you put n equal to 2, it will be I square omega square f omega, keep t together. So it will be minus c square omega square f omega t. Now we can write d2f by dt square plus c square omega square f equal to 0, where I am taking f as f omega t. Now this is a second order differential equation in t unknown, so it can be written as d square plus c square omega square f equal to 0, where d stands for d by dt. Now the auxiliary equation will be m square plus c square omega square equal to 0. So m equal to plus minus I c omega. Now you can compare it with alpha plus minus I beta. Then complementary function is given as e to the power alpha t c1 cos beta t plus c2 sin beta t, because you are differentiating with respect to t here. Now put the value of alpha and beta. So e to the power 0 t. C1 I am taking as A1. You can take C1 also, but I am taking A1 constant. Beta is, if you compare, what is beta? Beta is C omega. So C omega t plus A2 sine C omega t. So this is the solution of this differential equation. It means F omega t is A1 cos C omega t plus A2 sine C omega t. Now we have to find A1 and A2. What are the given condition? Given condition is ux0 equal to fx. Now we know that f omega t is Fourier transformation of uxt, that is equal to minus infinity to infinity uxt e to the power minus I omega x dx. Put t equal to 0 both sides. So f of omega 0, call it as a new notation g omega. I use this notation in part 5 also. This is minus infinity to infinity fx, because if you put t equal to 0, it will be ux0. Ux0 is fx given you e to the power minus I omega x dx. So this is the Fourier transformation of fx actually. Fourier transformation of fx. If you want inverse Fourier transformation, then fx will be 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity g omega e to the power I omega x d omega. Remember, this is also very important, that I will use later. So this is the first given condition. So at t equal to 0, f omega 0 equal to, I have already supposed that g omega is equal to a1 here, because cos 0 is 1, sin 0 is 0. This term is going to be vanished. What about the second given condition? Second given condition is del u by del t at x comma 0 is 0. So if we take the Fourier transformation of this both the side, then it is Fourier transformation of del u by del t at t equal to 0 is 0, or Fourier transformation of d by dt of f omega t at t equal to 0 is 0. Because with respect to t, I can take d by dt outside using Leibniz rule. You can see this in part 5. I also proved for del u by del t. This is first term in heat equation, you can see. So now if you differentiate it, d omega df by dt, it is equal to minus a1 c omega sin c omega t, differentiate with respect to t, plus a2 c omega cos c omega t. At t equal to 0, df by dt at t equal to 0 is given 0. This is the Fourier transformation of uxt. So if you put t equal to 0, this term is 0. A2 c omega. Remember, c is not 0, omega is not 0. Product is 0, so ultimately A2 will be 0 here. A2 will be 0 over. Put the value of A2 and A1 in f omega t, we can see the solution. So f omega t is nothing else g omega cos c omega t. So this is the value of f omega t. t. Now we can take the inverse Fourier transformation. Take inverse Fourier transformation. So uxt, because this the Fourier transformation of uxt is f omega t, so inverse will be uxt 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f omega t e to the power I omega x d omega. Keep the value of f omega t, that is equal to g omega cos c omega t e to the power I omega x d omega. We can find this solution in term of fx also. How we can find? Look carefully. This can be written as g omega. If you see g omega e to the power I omega x d omega is equal to fx only, So if we apply this result here, see carefully, we can write cos c omega t, cos theta is e to the power I theta plus e to the power minus I theta, theta is I c omega t by 2 d omega. Now it will be 1 over 4 pi minus infinity to infinity g omega e to the power I, see carefully, e to the power I omega I can take common, it will be x minus ct plus e to the power, if we take minus I omega common, it will be x plus ct d omega. Now separate these terms. So minus infinity to infinity g omega e to the power I omega x minus ct d omega plus minus infinity to infinity g omega e to the power minus I omega x minus ct d omega x plus ct d omega. So can anyone tell me what is this term? If you compare this term with the inverse fx, here fx is the coefficient of I omega. So here it will be equal to, the value x minus ct, and 2 pi we can take in the left side. So it will become 2 pi f of x minus ct. 2 pi x minus ct. There is a correction here. It is plus I omega. You can see that first term is plus I omega we can take common. And second term is representing 2 pi f of x plus ct. X plus ct and x minus ct are coefficient of I omega. So if you divide by 2 pi in 1 upon 4 pi, it is 1 over 2 f of x minus ct plus x plus ct. So you have a very beautiful solution for this given conditions of wave equation. 1 over 2 fx minus ct plus x plus ct. Fx will be given in the question to you. C you can compare. C will be also given to you in the question. You can compare the value of c square and you can find the c and you put in this solution directly. So this is the solution of given wave equation. Next we have a famous Laplace equation. Laplace equation, we know that if we have uxy and it has continuous second order partial derivative in x and y, then a equation which satisfy del 2u by del x square plus del 2u by del y square equal to 0 is called Laplace equation. This has continuous second order partial derivatives. We will discuss this Laplace equation in more detail in complex analysis module. In the complex analysis, this is very important topic. It will be useful in the determination of harmonic conjugates. So the given problem of the wave equation, Laplace equation, is the steady state temperature distribution uxy in a thin homogeneous semi-infinite plate. Semi-infinite means y is given in the question. You can see that that is from 0 to infinity. Semi-infinite means starting from 0, and one value is finite. X is finite here and y is semi-infinite. Is governed by the boundary value problem del 2u by del x square plus del 2u by del y square equal to 0, and x is between 0 to L, y is between 0 to infinity. Initial conditions are given and boundary conditions are given. U when x equal to 0, y e to the power minus 2y. When x equal to L, u Ly equal to 0, y is greater than 0. Obviously, it is given here. And del u by del y at y equal to 0 is 0. When x is between 0 to L, find the temperature distribution uxy between 0 less than x less than L, y greater than 0. I am taking here particular example because if we do not take such values, then the solution of this Laplace equation is very difficult. So I am taking particular example here. You can take some other example similar to this problem only. So let's see the solution. H domain, since the domain of x is finite and y is infinite, semi-infinite, 0 less than infinity, we cannot use Fourier transformation. We can attempt to use Fourier sine or cosine transform. Fourier sine or cosine transform. But if we see the initial conditions, the initial condition is given del u by del y. This term is required in the Fourier cosine transformation. What we want to say, if you remember, Fourier cosine transformation of any function, if you are taking with respect to y, I am taking with respect to y here, it is given as minus omega square Fourier cosine transformation of fy minus del f by del y, minus del f by del y at y equal to 0, at y equal to 0. So this is very useful result because del f by del y is given in the question. But if you use the Fourier sine transformation of f double dash y, I have discussed these results in part 3, then this is equal to minus f omega square Fourier sine transformation of fy plus omega into f0, means derivative condition is not required, but the derivative condition is given. So it will be better to use cosine transformation. It will be better to use cosine transformation here. Since the derivative del u by del y at y equal to 0, keep x together, is prescribed or given. So we can use Fourier cosine transform. Fourier cosine transform. So apply Fourier cosine transform both sides in given Laplace equation. So Fourier cosine transformation of del 2u by del x square plus Fourier cosine transformation of del 2u by del y square equal to 0. Here the transform is taken with respect to y. Remember, because y has limit between 0 to infinity. X has not limit between 0 to infinity or minus infinity to plus infinity. Means I am taking x as a fixed variable here, such that Fourier transformation of uxy cosine transformation with respect to y is given at 0 to infinity uxy cos omega y dy, cos omega y dy. Call it as f, and you are differentiating with respect to y, so omega you will get, and x you will get always, because x is treated as constant here. Fx omega, I am supposing this is as fx omega. This is the Fourier cosine transformation of uxy with respect to y. And if you see the Fourier cosine transformation of del 2u by del x square, it will be equal to 0 to infinity del 2u by del x square cos omega y dy. So we can take outside d by dx to 0 to infinity u is function of xy cos omega y dy using Leibniz rule. So it is equal to d by d2. This value is equal to fx omega, because this is the Fourier transformation of uxy. So we have first term, and for the second term we have already discussed the Fourier cosine transformation of u double dash y will be equal to minus omega square. You can use this formula, minus omega square, the first formula you can use, cosine transformation of uy uxy. Actually we have to write here x comma y, and we are taking with respect to y here. So uxy minus, remember this is the Fourier cosine transformation of uxy. Okay, correct, I have written here. And minus del f by del y, it means del u by del y at y equal to 0, keep x together. So this will be equal to minus omega square. I have already supposed this fx omega, and this term is given, I think 0 here, so it will be 0. Now use these values in equation 2. We will get it is equal to d by d2 by dx2 fx omega minus omega square fx omega, and this term is 0 equal to 0. Or d2f by dx2 minus omega square f equal to 0, where I am supposing f is equal to fx omega. Now we can write d square minus omega square f equal to 0, where d stands for d by dx. And if you take the auxiliary equation, m square minus omega square equal to 0, so m equal to plus minus omega. So its CF can be written as C1 e to the power omega x plus C2 e to the power minus omega x, or we can write e to the power omega x. We can write e to the power omega x and e to the power minus omega x with the help of cos hyperbolic. This is cos hyperbolic omega x plus sine hyperbolic omega x plus C2 cos hyperbolic omega x minus C2 minus sine hyperbolic omega x. So keep cos hyperbolic and sine hyperbolic together. CF will be C1 plus C2, I am supposing as A1 cos hyperbolic omega x plus C1 minus C2, I am supposing A2 sine hyperbolic omega x. We want solution in the form of cos and sine. This is CF or fx omega, because particular integral is 0, because right side is 0. So this is A1 cos hyperbolic omega x plus A2 sine hyperbolic omega x. So this is the solution. Now for finding the uxy, we have to take the inverse. We have to take the inverse transformation. Now use the initial and boundary condition. The first initial condition is given when x equal to 0, use 0 y equal to e to the power minus 2y. So take the Fourier cosine transformation of u0y. It will be the Fourier cosine transformation of e to the power minus 2y. That will be equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus 2y cos omega y dy. Use the definite integration property, a to e to the power a x cos bx dx. I have discussed. This will be equal to 2 over 4 plus omega square. I am giving you as a homework. Second condition is given. U of Ly equal to 0, or Fourier cosine transformation of ULy equal to 0 here. Now, what we have here? We have fx omega is equal to a1 cos hyperbolic omega x plus a2 sin hyperbolic omega x. Remember, cos hyperbolic omega x e to the power omega x plus e to the power minus omega x by 2, and sin hyperbolic omega x e to the power omega x minus e to the power minus omega x by 2. Put x equal to 0 because we have some values here. It is nothing else. It is equal to f of 0 omega because you are putting x equal to 0 here. Because Fourier cosine transformation of uxy is fx omega. Now if you put x equal to 0, you are getting f0 omega is equal to 2 over 4 plus omega square. So f of 0 omega is equal to a1 cos hyperbolic 0 is 1, but sine hyperbolic 0 is 0. So it is equal to 2 over 4 plus omega square. It means you have a1 is equal to 2 over 4 plus omega square. Now you have to find a2. So put x equal to L. You have f of L comma omega equal to, this is nothing else, this is f of L comma omega because we have substituted x equal to L in the Fourier cosine transformation of uxy. It is equal to a1 cos hyperbolic omega L plus a2 sin hyperbolic omega L. It is given as 0. So a1 cos hyperbolic omega L plus a2 sin hyperbolic omega L. A1 already we have, so a2 will be minus a1 cos hyperbolic omega L over sin hyperbolic omega L. Put the value of a1 and a2. So fx omega will be a1 cos hyperbolic omega x. You can see that fx omega is this one. Minus, put the value of a2, a1 cos hyperbolic omega L over sin hyperbolic omega L sin hyperbolic x. Now we can take something common, that is a1 is common. We can take a1 sin hyperbolic omega L total outside. Then it will be equal to into cos hyperbolic omega x sin hyperbolic omega L minus cos hyperbolic omega L sin hyperbolic omega x. So sin A cos B minus cos A sin B, very well formula. We know that sin A minus B. So it can be written as sin hyperbolic omega L minus x. Omega we can take outside. So it will be fx omega L equal to a1 sin hyperbolic omega L minus x over sin hyperbolic omega L. Now you can put the value of a1 also. So fx omega will be 2 over 4 plus omega square sin hyperbolic omega L minus x over sin hyperbolic omega L. So this is your fx omega. Now for finding the uxy, we have to take the inverse transformation here. So take the inverse Fourier cosine transformation. Take inverse Fourier cosine transform uxy equal to 2 over pi 0 to infinity fx omega cos omega y d omega. You can see the lectures of sine cosine transformation I have discussed in part 2 actually. So uxy will be 2 over pi 0 to infinity. Put the value of fx omega. It is 2 over 4 plus omega square sine hyperbolic omega L minus x over sine hyperbolic omega L cos omega y d omega. So it can be written as 4 over pi 0 to infinity sine hyperbolic omega L minus x cos omega y over sine hyperbolic omega L d omega. So this is the given temperature uxy. Okay, thank you. So this is the application part of Fourier transformation. It is a little bit difficult, but it is a optional question in 10 marks. So I will advise learn understand this question in better manner. In next part, I'm going to start jet transformation. That is very easy in comparison to Laplace and Fourier and most useful. Okay, thank you.